Energy Matters is brought to you by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Energy Matters.
All right, so Ms. Brasnell, thank you for joining us here on TV6. Of course, today we are speaking about energy conservation and energy efficiency. First of all, just in terms of finding out from you at TN what's the pattern, or I would say what's the pattern, the general pattern of your customers here in TET in terms of are they being usually really efficient or the opposite?
Thanks for the opportunity, Anselm, for us to be able to share some information with you in terms of efficiency. If we are to go by some information that our general manager shared at the Joint Select Committee just about a week and a half ago, which is that just over 200,000 of our customers receive the government's 25% rebate on their bills. That is an indication that customers, a large percentage of the customers are in fact doing something right when it comes to energy consumption and conservation, because to access that 25% rebate, your bill needs to be at $300 and less, which means that your consumption is just on the lowest tier for the billing cycle, and therefore those customers are doing something right.
How has that been going with that distribution? Have people been coming out and collecting their bulbs, or is it a case of you will have, way under the amount you expected would have come out to get their bulbs so far?
Collection has slowed down over the last few months because of the COVID situation, but we are still seeing people come in to collect their bulbs, and we do appreciate that, because the reason why the government started this initiative is to get the country involved in energy efficiency and energy conservation. And energy efficiency actually is utilizing equipment and electrical items or technological solutions to reduce your consumption. Thereby, the bulbs are actually initiative in terms of energy efficiency. And when we talk about energy conservation, we're actually talking about your behavioral patterns in terms of making adjustments to how you live your life that will reduce your conservation, and that will be energy conservation.
Can you explain to people, also give some tips of how they can be more efficient in the use of their electricity?
Right, so as I said, energy efficiency is the use of technology to reduce your consumption. And the bulbs are the simplest example. An LED bulb uses 85% less than an incandescent bulb. That's the bulb that we call the old-time bulbs. And an LED bulb also uses 30% less energy than the compact fluorescent bulb. The compact fluorescent is the one that people usually refer to as the curly bulbs. So just looking at that comparison, you can see if you switch to LED bulbs and once you're a residential customer with TN Tech, you're eligible for free LED bulbs, you will be able to see a reduction in your consumption there. But when we marry the LED bulbs as a simple transition to the idea of setting goals to adjust your behavior, and now we are moving into energy conservation, one of the things that I like to talk about is the energy management tools that TN Tech has available for customers to use. And I really like to talk about it because these tools, which are available to account holders via our website, it is a web-based application. Because it pulls your customized, individualized data from your account to help you manage your consumption, you have to be the account holder. But once you get into that, this portal allows you as a consumer to see your daily consumption. So if I go in now, I can see how much electricity I used yesterday and for the week. You can of course see monthly, bi-monthly, and you can see annually.
Have you indulged in a chocolate bar lately? If you did, chances are the cocoa came from Ivory Coast. That African country is the world's largest producer of cocoa. More than 40% of all cocoa beans originate there, and the industry employs more than 6 million people. So apart from their cocoa beans fueling people worldwide for decades, now another part of the cocoa plant will soon be powering Ivory Coast, as the country has found an inventive use for the cocoa plant that could power millions of homes. You heard right. The cocoa plant will now be used to provide electricity. The beans are exported to be made into chocolate bars, confectionery, and drinks. The bean shells, pod husks, and cocoa sweatings, a pale yellowish liquid that drains away during fermentation, are usually thrown away. This waste is now set to become a significant part of Ivory Coast's transition to renewable energy. After successful pilot projects, Ivory Coast has begun work on a biomass plant which will run on cocoa waste. The facility will be located in Devo, a town that produces a large share of the country's cocoa. In the biomass plant, cocoa plant matter left over after cocoa production will be burned to turn a turbine and generate electricity, much like conventional fossil fuel power plants. Now, the managing director of the Ivorian company involved in building the plant says this plant alone will be able to meet the electricity needs of 1.7 million people. The Devo biomass power plant will be West Africa's largest. There is support from the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, and the plant is on course for completion by early 2023, producing between 46 and 70 megawatts of electricity per year. According to feasibility studies, the facility could reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 4.5 million tons compared with existing power sources.
Energy Matters was brought to you by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Energy Matters.